Hello and welcome back to FrogboyX1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today we're looking at The Witcher 3 again. This time we finally got Riva Tuner working on it so we can see as we walk around. Now I want to show you my settings real quick. We are basically set on Ultra everything. DLSS on quality with everything on except for the hairworks. Yeah, we'll just leave that off. We'll just leave that off for right now. Let's just see. 1440p resolution. So let's go ahead and check out what we have. Gosh, I can't see the counter with that with that in the way. So I did just try to make a video a few minutes ago, but I did not have I was trying to use the GeForce counter again because it actually recorded yesterday, but today it didn't record, so we're remaking this video with this running right here. Now here's the thing. I feel like the overall frame rate is down but stable, because I would have been hitting like 60 FPS or above out here in like a wooded area before, and now we are right around 50 to 55 or whatever, right around 50 to 55 out here. Ooh, 49er, there's some dough. Yeah, so that's kind of got me, but it feels more stable. And with the G-Sync monitor and everything, like it feels more stable. So
could use Triss with one of her portals.
So now that we have reached the edge of the town, let's run back to town and see how the frame rate does over there. Spoiler alert, it was hovering right around 40 now. If in the last video I was just making. So 3800 or 3080, 5800X, 32 gigs of RAM at 3200 megahertz. These are the this is what we're getting. Like it feels good. Doesn't feel like there's a stutter anymore. So we're just gonna take a look at this, and we're gonna run through here. Try to get back over there to the city and kind of just see how that works. You know, honestly, man, as far as I'm concerned, though, if the frame rate stays like right around this, and it feels pretty good, like let's check the frame times real quick. Okay, yeah, you do get the frame time stutters. Just turning that camera, you can see it like kind of hitch a little bit every so often. So that right there leads me to believe that we're still getting frame time hitches and stuff, but we're not getting like the stuttering. Here, let me slow down the camera a little bit. I know how like that right there, you know, I try to run a little bit fast so that kind of does that. Gosh, look at how much freaking vegetation there is now. Gosh, it just looks so fluffy. It's so fluffy. I love it. I do. I love it, man. I could play this game for hours, and just looking at this and how beautiful it is. See, I mean, for me, this with max ray tracing is playable. But I mean, you got to understand, man. I came from consoles, and when I first ever played this game, it was 30 frames a second, and now I get to look out here and see this beautiful ray tracing, and the way it reacts with the water and stuff, like, I like that. I like the way that looks. Oh, look, we're at 60s with ray tracing. There we go. See, I mean, and that's just what I'm talking about. Like, this, for the most part, to me, feels pretty close to a 60 FPS experience, you know? I mean, you'd be getting, like, frame drops and stuff, but, I mean, for the most part, as long as it stays within a VRR range, it's not noticeable enough to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, when I'm dropping frames and stuff, like it doesn't feel like that. So, all right, we're getting closer to the city. Let's go see what we have inside the city. we'll just run at a steady pace like this to kind of see how it's gonna affect the frame rate and stuff. See if we run into any snags or stutters or anything like that, because I know this is important, man. This game is an incredible experience. I love this game, and more than anything, I just want it to be playable. So we're into the upper 30s now inside town, and here in Tucson, I was getting pretty much the same frame rate I was getting in Novigrad. Maybe a little bit less here, actually, in Tucson than I was in Novigrad. So, I mean, we're about 40 in here, like 40-ish. I mean, that's still well within the VRR range, but you can see that it does start to feel a little more 30-ish when you're running around in here. Like it does. It feels more 30 frames per second. But it still feels stable enough to where, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, it still feels fairly stable. The visual quality of this game now is a lot nicer. We got people sitting on the freaking sit on the ground, lady. Quit flaunting your power and showing everybody you can float. That's not cool. I mean, look at that ray tracing, man. That looks cool on this game. Like it adds character to an already freaking beautiful game, and I like it. I appreciate it. Maybe a little more optimizing. I would like to hit 60 frames a second with everything turned on and being able to run at max on a 3080. I feel like that would be pretty ideal for me, but for the most part, the game does feel like a 60 FPS experience, and when you're in town here, you're not really fighting or doing anything except for just walking around. So I feel like it's somewhat acceptable for the most part. Like, yeah, I would love to have 60 FPS, but I don't want to spend $1,600 to get 60 FPS, okay, guys? Like, I don't want to have to buy another freaking graphics card just to get 60 FPS with my ray tracing on in here. Like, this is acceptable to me. Like, wow, that looks so beautiful. So beautiful. This looks like a whole new game. That just looks incredible. It's almost like seeing it for the very first time again. You can see that detail on the building from farther away, and it looks so nice. The shadowing from the ray trace shadows, the global illumination, like, yeah, this looks great, man. And I can definitely explore this city at 45 frames a second, 39 frames a second. Like, I can definitely do that and be okay with that, because I'm just exploring it. I mean, if I was to actually like sit down and play the game, I probably would turn off the ray tracing, to be completely honest with you. I don't think I would actively go through this game playing with the ray tracing on, to be completely honest with you. So I don't necessarily think that's a problem with me, but to be able to get like 50 frames on a 3080 with my setup and still have all the ray tracing, all the global illumination, the AO, the shadows, all of that, I'm happy with that. Like, I'm content with that. I can live with that, because when I start playing the game and I'm actually just out there having fun playing it, I'd just as soon play it on my Series X too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need the ray tracing to play the game. It's just really nice to look at on here. Like, you can see out there, you can see the tree reflection in the water. Like, that's so cool, man. That is so cool. This game right here is probably the one that's probably going to sell me the most on the ray tracing, though. And this will be one that I will be playing for a very long time still. I've been playing this game since it first came out in 2015. So, man, if I'm still playing it now, I'm pretty sure I'll still be playing it when I upgrade my rig and get a better graphics card. 94 to 91% like GPU utilization. I mean, obviously there's still some patching that could definitely go on to make this a better experience, and I'll wait patiently for it. I mean, I'm grateful I got this patch in the first place, to be completely honest with you. I'm literally grateful that we got this patch on PC, because they could have just stopped at the at the consoles and just, you know, upgraded, you know, the stuff that they did. But no, man, they put in the work to give us some of this stuff to make our PC version look even better. Like, look at how much, look at that draw distance for the vegetation, man. Like, you can literally see the vegetation out there in the middle of that field, underneath the water. Like, that is incredible. It doesn't look like a blurry, soupy mess. It looks like there is actual textured vegetation out there. And 50 FPS up and through here, like, that is nice. Let's climb down this hill a little bit. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Come on, girl. Just jump and roll. This vegetation looks so freaking good. It looks so thick and so fluffy and so full. I love it. I love it, man. Like, I love exploring this game again. Like, look at these trees. This looks beautiful, man. Very beautiful. I love being able to look out there and just see vegetation. Like, I'm so happy with the way this looks. It's not even funny. And the fact that I'm getting what feels like a 60 FPS experience with my G-Sync, I love it, man. Like, look at all this. Look at all this beautiful vegetation. Like, that looks incredible. It looks so nice. Look at that. I'm in the 60s now. I'm in the 60s. Let's see if I look up at the sky. How many can I get? Wow, look at that, man. 30 to 80. 30 to 80, man. It's a 3080. I get 30 to 80 frames per second. That's incredible. 30 to 80 frames a second. Well, actually, the 30 to 80 at 4K. 30 to 80 at 4K, man. This is good. Like, this feels all right with me. I'm definitely okay with this. It does feel a little more stable for sure. Like, it does feel more stable. It definitely does feel a little more stable. It feels like it holds the same frame rate more consistent than it normally did. Like, it felt like it was more all over the place before. Like, this feels more consistent. The farther you get away from the bigger cities, it starts to get to 60 and hold 60. Pretty close to 60. This does feel better. There could definitely be a little more optimization. Well, see, then again, I'm the one that could do more optimization because I've got everything maxed out. Everything's just maxed out, and except for the Hairworks. Don't really care for the Hairworks too much. But, alright, man. There you guys go. I hope this helps. Definitely a better experience now. So, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.